I believe they're called enforcers, Gordon. I sell women's shoes.
And the Stallion.
Stallion, baby! I am not what you would call a handsome man. I'll kick you in the nuts and you'll smile at me and like it. All night long.
Welcome to another edition of the All Night Long Wrestling Podcast. He is the Stallion, I am the Enforcer, and we are back yet again. Week 79 of the All Night Long Wrestling. It's got to be more than that, right?
Yes.
It's over 2 years now. Has it really? It's really over 2 years?
Yeah, it was 2015 when we started, so against our better judgment, we're still here doing this, so...
I feel like we're kind of like Alan Griff in the shoe store.
Mm.
Yeah. We should play games like... No, I can't really say anything about fat women, right? That's like faux pas now.
Yeah, I think in the current day and age, people frown upon things like that.
Like when Alan Griff threw a Snickers bar on the floor and they raced the shoes down the hill because the women were running and it was shaking the... Can't do that, right? Remember that one? And then Al held the shoe back and he cheated to win. Those were the days.
Yeah. I don't think we can do that, but I mean, I appreciate the thought you put into it.
Yeah. Well, last week our show was rated R, right? I heard that.
I believe so.
I didn't say anything last week.
I don't remember if we said anything bad. I don't remember us saying anything bad.
That's bullshit.
Oh, we're crying out loud.
Listen, if you're gonna put me in the R-rated category, you remember the DX promo?
I do remember the DX promo.
Watch your mouth, Yeah, it was a good promo.
Great.
Speaking of good promos, we're here to talk about Battleground. I'd rather slam my nuts in an escalator, but
How would that work exactly? From a physics standpoint, how would you slam your nuts into an escalator?
I would drape them.
I think you would drape them in. Yeah, I think that's more what you get them caught in the escalator. Yeah. And then this sounds painful. I don't think you want to do that.
So I was watching Battleground.
But I don't know if it's worth mutilation. I think that's something I would consider.
At least we get listens or views if I drop my nuts in the escalator.
Sadly, you're probably correct, which is unfortunate.
We're out here. I mean, if you and I were pro wrestlers, like if our career was that of a professional wrestler, whose career would we be?
Repo Man. No, I have no idea.
Holy shit! Off the cuff, you come out with Repo Man. That's tremendous. Bill Darso, right?
Barry
Darso. I'm sorry, Barry Darso.
Bill Eadie is the
Bill Eadie is Axe. So wait, hold on. So I don't think we'd be Repo Man, as per he had considerable success in Demolition.
I was thinking of like Repo Man, like stealing stuff and then just getting beaten all the time.
Oh, okay. We haven't stolen anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe that's our gimmick. Maybe what our gimmick is missing is a gimmick. Maybe each week I'm going to have a new segment called In the Crosshairs, right? And each week I'm going to cut a 3 to 4 minute expletive, racially charged promo on other people in the pro wrestling business.
Okay. I don't know what your target audience is for that. I think we'd have to probably talk about that. Like what the demographics that you're looking to reach. I think that would be something that's...
I'm just trying to be controversial.
Worthwhile. Because when we get the ratings, we get the breakdown by the age group and gender and all that type of stuff.
Nationality.
All those, that race, ethnicity, all those things. I think we have to look at that and then see like what your target audience and is going to be.
Who I want to alienate the least.
Yeah.
You know who sucks? The Irish.
I think you're saying that because you are Irish.
So that's the only thing I'm allowed to say.
To say that.
That's true. I'm allowed to say that.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like, you know what? I don't want to say the show is missing something. I feel like there's something that... No, maybe the show is missing something. What are we missing? Success?
Well, yeah, that goes for a lot of things.
Finances?
Outside of the show, yes.
Hope?
Mm-hmm.
Possibilities?
Prospects? Yeah, no, I have nothing for you.
Okay. What do you think it is about the show that would take us to the next level? This is called workshopping on air. You know what we're doing, so...
Probably less of this, I would say, would help.
I think people enjoy this.
You think so?
Let me tell you something. We're taking you behind the scenes. We're shooting right now. Stallion and I went out about 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
For some reason, people find us hilarious. Women, considerably out of my league, enjoyed our conversation and talked to us. You know, we're funny. We go back and forth. Incredibly self-deprecating.
True.
We have characteristics that people find endearing, apparently.
Strange things happen when people are drinking a lot, so that could be part of the...
Oh, yeah.
They may find us more entertaining when they're in a inebriated state.
So hold on. Now, piggybacking off of that, and this is what workshopping does. Why don't we take our podcast live to places where people are drunk?
That's a fine idea.
Like, we could have games like Kick Me in the Nuts for $5. Or Electrocute My Face for a minute to see if I die. Yeah. Any of those, like, these are things that we could be like a traveling circus. Okay? I have no ties to anything here. Everything's fine. Yeah, that's fine. This is good. So, what if we went on the road? Kind of like Road Wild. Like WCW's famous pay-per-view. Like Monday Night Raw would go to like Daytona and like Sturgis where like the bike weeks are. What if we just found where people get the most shithouse drunk and we took our podcast there?
I mean, are these places going to let us broadcast in their bar? Like at, you know, I assume people would have to be like listening to us, so we have to be like mic'd up and stuff like that for the bar to hear. Or we're just going to sit at a table and drink beer and just talk to each other and record it. Is that
okay? See, counteroffer. That's also not a bad idea. And I was just shot. No. Well, now that we've gotten that out of the way, we have some ideas for the future. Speaking of places that people get drunk and find us funny, we're going to GFW next week, right?
Yes.
We are going to the GFW house show in St. James, New York. And when I tell you, the card looks like a stinker, I'm not lying to you.
I feel like that's going to hurt our chances of getting somebody from GFW on the podcast to promote the show.
Well, they've been doing such a good job of getting back to us. I'm firing all cylinders right now. I got my Americano.
I don't think Falaba is going to respond to my tweet. If
Falaba was in this room with you and I right now, I wouldn't know who he was.
I think he's the one that dresses like Yokozuna. I'm not sure.
Oh, he's one of he's the Yoko. They were the tag team, the international tag team Shmageki.
That's the one.
Right? Yeah. Good for them.
On point.
Yeah, he's putting some on some 5-star matches. Whatever.
So anyway,
yeah, I'm coming out this week. I'm kind of firing.
Good.
And there goes that opportunity.
Yeah. So we'll be at GFW house show next Friday, August the 4th in St. James.
Yep.
You know.
But listen, you go to a house show, front row, as usual, with an exclusive meet and greet beforehand.
Exclusive meet and greet. So you can meet Falaba and talk to him about maybe
his attire.
Yeah.
Maybe his health, overall outlook on
life. Maybe he needs some supplements. You could sell him some supplements.
You know who doesn't need supplements? Ryback.
Yeah.
Right. How did you know I was going there? Great minds think alike.
He doesn't need any supplements.
So no, listen. They
He's got enough.
To be fair, this is the first house show that GFW has run. Well, sorry, GFW / Impact has run in what, a year?
A few years, I would say. I don't know exactly how long, but it's been a couple years.
I personally, and this is me shooting, and I'm not going to hurt anybody's feelings. If this is your first house show in 2 years, I would have delivered a stronger card. However, we don't know what ticket sales are like. But they're having another show the next night, right, in Staten Island?
And they're doing 3 days in a row, yeah. There's one out here, there's one in Staten Island, and then there's one in Connecticut on Sunday.
Are any of those televised or all house shows?
I believe they're all house shows.
Probably would have brought a little more to the table.
Get John Hennigan, bro. Do you
Who?
need anything more than John Hennigan?
You know who I would go to see? Mike Mondo.
Yeah, I would go see Mike Mondo.
Yeah. Oh,
Very
that's
tight, very tight.
Oh, very. We'll get to that. Did we talk about that last week?
I don't remember.
We'll talk about it this week. So, here's the deal. The GFW show, the main event is all of your big names in a 6-man tag. That screams like 1990 house show booking, which is okay, but I mean, you only have 7 matches listed so far, and I would like it if you could sprinkle through the talent through the show a little bit more. So I'm a little underwhelmed with the card on paper. Not to say it's not going to deliver, because I don't think we've gone to a couple of TNA / Impact shows, and we've never had a bad time per se. But on paper, I think it's safe to say this card's a little underwhelming.
Fair.
Okay, voice of reason. That's why we keep the stallion around. So
I have 0 emotions left right now, so everything's going to be...
Let's just talk about why. Like, rough day, rough week, rough 6-7 years.
34 and a half years, I would say, is the stretch that we're at right now. That's where I'm coming from. So, this is it.
This is
the same enthusiasm we're going to talk about Battleground, so, I mean,
First of all, if you're able to hold over this much enthusiasm for Battleground, I will buy you a Snickers bar. Second Snickers bar today.
A left Twix. Can we get one of those? And then if we do a good show, I'll like a right Twix as well.
What marketing genius came up with that idea? So let's start with some Battleground.
Let's start with some Battleground.
Let's say
10 minutes into
10 minutes into the show, into the opening diatribe. Battleground was last weekend, and on paper, the show didn't look very strong. Neither one of us were very excited about it. However, Battleground hooked me in because it kicked off with a New Day versus the Usos match that was that was easily the best match on the card. Really good match, good back and forth, lots of false finishes. I don't think the right team won per se. I would like to see the Usos keep the title, but the New Day won. It was Kofi and Xavier Woods, and let me tell you something. To me, Xavier Woods came off looking like a star in that match.
I thought, it was interesting that they had it be Xavier and Kofi and no Big E. Usually when, there's title shots on the line, they don't often have that pairing of guys. So it was a little interesting to see them do that. But, they did a lot of, like you said, kind of false finishes, kicking out of each other's finishers, things like that you'd expect to see.
The springboard super kick was a nice spot.
Yeah, stuff that you'd expect to see on maybe like a bigger scale show. They were doing in this match, which kind of caught me by surprise, and it was a very entertaining match. I didn't think New Day would win the titles right at this point, but they did. I don't really necessarily have a problem with it. There's not a whole lot of tag teams on SmackDown that are worthy of a shot, so I have no problem with them winning. I'm sure they'll fight the Usos again next month, and then from there, who knows? Because I don't know what else is really out there for SmackDown.
I don't even know who's left.
Yeah, American Alpha split, of course. So we documented that, so they're not there anymore. And then you're looking at teams like Breezango, The Ascension, and I don't even know if the Colognes are there because supposedly they were leaving and they weren't leaving and they haven't been on TV in quite some time.
Oh, I forgot about them. The Caribbean Express. Oh, that's a great name. That's a great team name. The Caribbean Express. Write that down. Let's bookmark that one. That's good. It's better than their other name now. What is it called? The Colognes?
Yeah, it used to be the Shining Stars.
The Shining Stars. That gimmick went over like a... Never mind. Either way, the pay-per-view started off good, like we said. And, it was... I had high hopes for it. And they came crashing down violently with the next match. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Baron Corbin. Talk about two guys whose styles don't match up. They didn't have any kind of chemistry out there, and it was obvious. And they tried to have that strong match, like hard striking and, heavy hits, heavy strikes, submissions, hard hitting moves. And Baron Corbin is not the guy to do that. He came up in the WWE system. There's a pattern. You look at a guy like Baron Corbin, a guy like Rusev, a guy like John Cena. They're all kind of very similar in the way their execution is, and I wouldn't have put Nakamura in there, if in this kind of match, I should say. And they tried to protect both guys, so they went with Baron Corbin kneeing or kicking Nakamura directly in the nuts and losing by DQ, which didn't make sense considering what they did the night after. But so that finish kind of definitely fell a little flat for me.
Yeah, it's just they don't really their styles don't really mesh very well. I think it's certain. But I'll say that probably wasn't the only match on this card where you could say that. But
every match,
but yeah, I don't know. I think they're unfortunately the booking style